Melnik. I'm the president and chairman of Nutriband. I and Gary Sheridan, the CEO of the company, have founded the company on January 4th, 2016. Originally, it was supposed to be much simpler, concept. We were just making vitamin patches, and we're trying to look for a manufacturer in the United States. We went public through a Form 10. We did everything ourselves, all the legal work, and hired accountants. And by 2018, we have been trading already on OTCQB. And in 2021, we have successfully transitioned to NASDAQ with our first and last fundraise, IPO. Nutriband is a pharmaceutical company. We're specializing in delivering existing drugs. Our concept is delivering existing drugs through a transdermal technology. Our first product and the lead platform technology is Aversa. It's an abuse-deterrent tech which is applicable to any patch on the market today. In June of this year, we have had a press release and an 8K where we have announced that we have successfully scaled it up, and we have proven the application of our technology to any patches on the market, not just fentanyl patch, which is going to be our first product, and we expect it to be on the market within the next 12 to 18 months. Nutriband is not structured as your typical biotech. We have two revenue-generating subsidiaries. We have a manufacturer, Pharmaceuticals, where we manufacture over-the-counter, third-party manufacturing over-the-counter tapes, sports tapes, and patches. Some of our clients are KT Tape and Reebok. And we also have 4P Therapeutics that does consulting work for the application for the FDA, other companies. Sorrento Therapeutics was one of our clients. The company is comprised of three subsidiaries: 4P Therapeutics, who have clinical regulatory subsidiary, Pharmaceuticals, contract manufacturing subsidiary, and Active Intelligence, who is a product subsidiary, and we produce also kinesiology tapes. And here we go to our main and most disruptive thing that is going to come to the market. With our price shows, and I'll get more a little bit later into that, traversy. But Aversa is going to be the first patented abuse-deterrent platform technology. Without interfering with drug matrix, we're able to place on existing fentanyl patch abuse-deterrent, where it's going to make it practically impossible for anyone to try to enjoy the drug or narcotics from the patch. Is going to be making it very difficult to misuse it, or even accidental exposure to drug is going to be minimized to a minimum. We have done extensive radar study. An article is going to come in one of the medical journals, actually imminently. It was sponsored by us. Our doctors, Alan Smith and Jeff Patrick, was sponsor of that research. We have done it for 2 years, where we have specifically looked at the pediatric application of this technology and the accidents that were happening and that kids are just picking up from the trash. 6 children have died in the last years from this kind of exposure. There were thousands of 911 calls and emergency room visits on that. So all that research is going to be published. Stay tuned. It's going to be coming within the next couple of weeks, we think. In 2014, the market for fentanyl patches were more than $4 billion. The market shrunk. By the time we did the research report with Advanced Health in 2022, the market has shrunk to $800 million. The research report was commissioned by us at the request of Kindeva, our exclusive manufacturer, Kindeva Drug Delivery, where they wanted to see the size of the market and if it's, appropriate for them to go with us into a feasibility study. The results came absolutely astonishing. Even at the 20% rate, we should grasp about 20% of the market even within the first years with our product on the market. That's about $200 million. Should FDA make it mandatory? And we think there is a good chance they would make it mandatory if we come up with the most advanced deterrent on the market. then the market would go, the sales would go to 800 million. 800 million at that time with the total market in the US. We have numbers, we have done with Kindeva recent numbers, and we have seen that there is significant increase already in the numbers of that show increase in the market. However, that's going to come up a bit later in official filings that we're going to file. You also see here exponential increase from the 2014 to the 2020 in accidents and death on the market. The simple explanation I could see here is just people who are in need of this life-saving procedure, they can't just go and switch to Tylenol, ibuprofen. It just doesn't work like that. Fentanyl patch is most effective painkiller on the market today. There is nothing more effective than that. And doctors are reluctant to prescribe it because it's as easy to abuse it as chewing it. It's extremely easy to abuse it right now. And in fact, next year, second and third quarter, we're planning to get into a health study. That's the only study we have to do, human liability study. And the last meeting with FDA, they reiterated that they will have 505(b)(2) path through FDA submission. So the only test we have to do is human abuse liability study, where a group of patients are going to be presented our patch and generic patch. They're going to be presented the chance to see which one they're going to be able to break in. All of this is going to be recorded. We're very confident in our results because if generic patch is as easy to abuse as just making tea out of it or chewing it, you have to be at least small PhD in chemistry to be able to break into ours. On this next slide, we have exactly what's patented, and the technology is very simple. It's actually quite simple. 2 years ago, Ian Garris was at a conference in London, and he was presenting to a group of medics. One of them used to work for Eli Lilly, and she was saying that it was amazing that the solution was so simple. I mean, they were trying to work on it for 10 years, and they did not go anywhere close to what we have right now. And the solution is very simple. Our abuse deterrent never interferes with drug matrix. It's just the only time it interferes when somebody's trying to abuse it. And then the recreational addict, whomever is going to try to do that, is going to have to enjoy fentanyl mixed with denatonium benzoate and Bittrex. And good luck with that. So Aversa Fentanyl is aligned with our plan's mission to expand access to ADFs and consider the risk of misuse not just by patient, but also by other persons who obtain opioids. As I said before, Aversa is a platform technology. The first name of the drug, it's in work right now. We're down to last 39 global search names for the drug that's going to come up on the market for the name of the patch. Aversa is a platform that's going to be applied to other ones like buprenorphine. Our next one in line is methylphenidate. We have very good protection on Aversa. We have here we have 45, actually it's 46 countries by now. Macau was the last one who was added to our list. Very well protected. The 4 years we have been working with Kindeva on the process of placing, it's a long time actually, since the IPO, 4 years now, to place it and scale it up with existing fentanyl patch, have resulted in a lot of significant IP that generated new patents that we just filed. That's going to extend the life of our technology protection till 2045. As I mentioned before, Kindeva is our main partner, is our exclusive manufacturer of the patch. We actually using their approved, FDA-approved fentanyl patch to place our technology. And the interesting fact was that they are the ones who called us in 2021. They called us exactly on the day when we have received the notification from the US Patent Office. And they offered us to do a feasibility study and see if it's possible to place our technology on their patch. And if you see the numbers over there, those, again, request of the Kindeva, who had commissioned Advanced Health to do a study. Those are the numbers I came up with within the first 5 years. Those are old numbers, numbers of 2021. These are the pipeline: Aversa fentanyl, Aversa buprenorphine, and Aversa methylphenidate, and next in line. So that's a presentation on our company. Again, if you would have been 10 years ago, a company that is within 12 to 18 months from the placing product on the market would not be trading at 50 million market cap. And there's a very good explanation for that too. Biotech sector has been completely disseminated. It was a very interesting fact that happened in 2021 that made us realize that we'll never go back to the market for money. Within 3 months, our stock twice have gone to $10 and back on huge volumes after the IPO. And then we mentioned that it was a very big press release that we informed, of course, our bankers and our PR companies that was recommended by our investment bankers at the time about the coming press release. And we'll see that the stock would be suppressed in pre-market right away on the press release. So on December 31st, 2021, we did something different. It was Gareth. We decided not to tell anybody. And we had a very small press release. We just got a patent for South Korea. That day, the stock went from $3 to $12 on 140 million shares. We were the most traded stock in the US, more than Google, more than Tesla. Bear in mind that in DTC, at that time, we just had 1.5 million shares. So we thought for sure all the warrants that we issued at the IPO would be exercised. It's just not the way. We already got almost a quarter of them exercised when the first time stock ran up. The difference between this run and next run, that somebody registered us on Berlin Stock Exchange. We know the name. Everything's going to come up in time. They successfully brought down the stock within 3 weeks from $12 back to under $5. And at that point, I called everybody. We took about 50% pay cut on our salaries. Everybody chipped in. That would save us $600,000 next 2 years until we get to the next milestone. We could convince our closest investors that we have something that nobody else has. So since then, we added probably another $15 million from our closest investors. They do this yo-yo move still on our stock. We see that. And well, all they accomplished until now, because I know how they're trying to get more position and probably fire us and go for the typical blueprint of a biotech where they'll be disseminated to nothing, delisted, and they'll just get control of the company, the private equity who's behind that. All they accomplished is our insider ownership was about 53-54% at the time of the IPO. Our insider ownership right now is close to 80%. So they can keep doing that. We are very confident in the product we have. One of our directors who came last one, he's actually a billionaire, a real billionaire, has completely our support. And we're on a very short run right now. The product has been scaled up. The next big milestone you're going to see is our IND meeting, where the FDA is going to allow us to use our product in Hull study. We project to have the Hull study second, third quarter of next year. By the end of the summer, it should be over. We allotted 3 to 6 months, even though the study itself should not take more than a month. It's going to be 6 months of stability after the Hull study that we have to wait until to see if the product actually goes bad on the shelves. And we plan to have the FDA submission end of the year 2026. We're on a fast track. FDA confirmed that. Within 6 months after that, we're going to have, we should have the approval. We're very confident in our product. We're very confident in the Hull studies. Kindeva would not have spent so much money and time. I mean, they give us 50% discount on all the, when we came to them, we said we're not going to go back to the market to regular. And it's sad because as a NASDAQ company, that's the only reason we went to NASDAQ. We wanted to have access to funds to be able to fund without destroying our shareholders. But it just didn't work this way. So we took a different route. Protection of our shareholder and shareholder value is our utmost priority. 5 minutes remaining. And I think I have to stop right now. If you have any questions, because we have 5 minutes.
Question in the back. Because fentanyl is such a administration target, any NIH money, any grant money, any non-dilutive money coming, you think, for the next year?
I don't think so. We'll have a meeting. I mean, I don't know if you are familiar. Our CEO had a short stint for 3 months. He ran for the president of Ireland. He created huge contacts for us. So we're going to have a meeting with RFK Jr., by the way, soon. It's already planned. We've been invited to Tucker Carlson Christmas party. I'm flying tonight. So it's going to come. We're going to meet with them. I don't think anything else is going to come. Honestly, we don't really need the money. We have significant funding. We have enough money in the accounts right now to get us all the way through FDA submission. If at any point in time, if there is more things that we need, we have very good support from our started. If the stock recovers, if we get October 1st next year, that's actually the clock is ticking. Those warrants that were issued in 2021 are going to expire. So all the shares that they have shorted, without showing they're short, they're going to be exposed. So they have very short term right now, and we're not going to go back to the market before then, that's for sure.
And how did the election campaign do in Ireland?
He was supposed to get 4 council votes. He got 2 successful. And the next 2 votes, I mean, the big 2 parties, because he was independent, got scared. So they blocked him. So he lost 14-13 next 2 votes by 1 vote. And he was not on the ballot. He should have been on the ballot. He would have been president and would have lost our CEO. So honestly, I'm actually happy he's back because it was too much work for me.
Can you talk a little bit more about the use case and your strategy around target markets? Is this a prophylactic for first responders? You mentioned children. So the patch, is it for the community who has issues with fentanyl?
It's for everybody. I mean, at this point, I'll give you an example. I mean, my wife has a distant cousin in her family who committed suicide before Christmas a couple of years ago just because he was in unbearable pain. And doctors are reluctant to prescribe those things because they're extremely dangerous. They're dangerous for the kids. A used fentanyl patch to go and be sold on actually black market for $200. I mean, typical with it would cost $30 actually in a pharmacy to buy it, the real one, with a prescription. So they're reluctant to prescribe it. So everybody who needs access to, painkillers will have the access without being worried that it can be used for other purposes. So again, because it's slow release, you can't go and put 10 on you. It's still going to work the same. So you're not going to get high from that.
This is a delivery device for those pharmaceuticals with guardrails to protect against abuse.
Correct. So the device already exists on the market. That's a fentanyl patch. So they are delivering it. The only thing we added up, we added a protection layer where you cannot abuse it.
Oh, interesting. That's fabulous.
Yes?
Yeah, so a lot of people who might, resort to cutting it up and chewing it, right? Fentanyl is so accessible and so cheap that they might just go on the black market. I would think that that's the route. I did some research and it seems like abusing patches by chewing it is really rare. Mm-hmm. However, if you do use transdermal patches, the typical method is that you heat it and use multiple patches because when you heat it, that speeds up the delivery process, mm-hmm. right? Effectively, your guys' technology has nothing to do with preventing that form of abuse, but it's just like it makes it sour.
I don't know how much you can heat it. It's still a slow release, so you're not going to get high from that.
Well, I don't know. You know more about it probably.
And cutting it out and you said it's rare. I mean, the market went down from 4 billion to 800 million within 5 years after CDC came cracking down specifically on this patch, and you tell me it's rare.
Well, in relation to the amount of addicts that you
Oh, probably, yes. I mean, if you put the things, I mean, we're not competing with, Mexican drug lords, but we are worrying about the people who need the access to this thing without being worried that they're going to place it in the trash and their children are going to pick it up and put it in their mouths and die.